You wake up in the middle of the night. You open the app. 200 ants are feasting in your kitchen, and that $50 machine you bought to kill them, it just sent you a message. Ants have arrived. I once dreamed of turning my kitchen into a smart fortress. I ordered 3 IoT traps, set up the app, full of excitement. 3 weeks later, I was still on my knees wiping lines of ants under the fridge. Total damage, $75 and 4 hours of configuration. Just to learn one brutal truth. A smart trap doesn't kill ants. It's just a death clock for your failure unless you know how to use it as part of a system. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what happens inside those IoT traps and how a $3 formula can do what a $50 machine cannot. Collapse an entire ant colony. What I'm about to share could save you from a nest of sugar ants inside your walls this summer. Chapter 1. Smart Sensor or $50 Ant Counter. I sat there watching this $50 trap for an hour. It counted 12 ants. My eyes saw at least 30 walk through. Inside every smart trap is an infrared brake beam sensor. It shoots an invisible beam from one side to the other. When you walk through, when an ant walks through, the beam breaks. The counter ticks up by 1. In theory, brilliant. But a sugar ant is barely 4 millimeters long. 2 can stick together like a train, and that stupid sensor only sees one obstacle. I tested this. I blew flour dust through the sensor. The app reported 20 ants. There wasn't a single ant. Kitchen dust, grease, all of it fools the sensor. And here's the most painful test. Real-world response times. The cheap Bluetooth model, 7 seconds. The pricier Wi-Fi model, 12 seconds. The one requiring a Zigbee hub, 45 seconds. Do you know how long it takes a scout ant to run home and recruit reinforcements? 2 to 5 minutes. You could have stopped the invasion if you'd been alerted in 3 seconds, but 45 seconds. You lost the battle before your phone even buzzed. Your $50 trap doesn't prevent ants from entering your kitchen. It just tells you they've arrived. Like a neighbor calling to say your house is on fire instead of calling the fire department. But the real problem isn't the sensor. It's what's flowing inside that trap. Chapter 2. The gel they give you, slow killer or colony bomb. You're looking at the thing that can either vaporize an entire colony or multiply your problem by 3. This is fipronil gel, a slow neurotoxin. But slow here is a gamble. The mechanism is called trophallaxis, the food-sharing network of the entire empire. Worker ants don't swallow the gel. They carry it home, feed it to the larvae, feed it to the queen. If the poison moves slowly enough, it kills everything from the babies to the leader in 24 to 72 hours. I raised 3 sugar ant colonies in glass tanks for 3 weeks. Colony A got the commercial fipronil gel from the IoT trap. After 1 week, worker numbers dropped, but the queen started laying 2 new egg clusters. Colony B got my homemade boric acid bait day 19. Not a single ant moved. This is the worst possible outcome. When you kill workers too fast without touching the queen, the mother nest releases emergency chemical signals. The queen lays more eggs and the colony splits into multiple branches. You start with 1 ant nest. You end up with 3 inside your walls. The gel that comes with your IoT trap is like bombing half a city, then letting the survivors build 3 new cities. So if the gel is the problem, is there a way to turn that smart trap into a real killing station? Yes, and it only costs $3. Chapter 3. $3 DIY bait BEATS $50 tech test. 1 spoon of boric acid, 3 spoons of white sugar, 2 spoons of warm water. Stir. This formula has followed me for 8 years and it has never betrayed me. Boric acid, buy it at the pharmacy. $2 for a box that lasts a year. It destroys the ants' digestive system so slowly they don't even know they're dying. They keep eating, keep sharing. Within 48 hours, the poison has infiltrated every corner of the nest. I soak the mixture into cotton balls, stuff them into an old plastic jar with 2mm holes. Total cost per station, less than 30 cents. No app, no battery, no firmware. Same position, same time period. The IoT trap caught 12 ants per day. Alex's homemade bait jar, 47 ants, nearly 4 times as many. Why? Because ants don't have to squeeze through a narrow gate. They walk in freely, eat their fill, and carry the poison home. Day 1, both had ants. Day 7, my side had dropped by half. Day 21, my side, not a single ant. Colony fully collapsed. The IoT side still had ants, and as I mentioned in the previous chapter, they started budding. You don't need a $50 machine to text you that ants are eating. You need something that makes them eat and disappear forever. And that thing fits right in the palm of my hand for $3. But I don't hate technology. I hate laziness. And I found a way to combine both for $4.50. Chapter 4. Combining IoT and DIY. A real early warning system. I don't hate the feeling of my phone buzzing at midnight. I hate paying $50 for that feeling, only to get bad data and bait that can't kill a queen. So I built my own. Infrared sensor TCR T5002. ESP8266 Wi-Fi chip $2.50. 118,650 rechargeable battery. And 15 lines of code I'll link in the description. Total, $4.50. No subscription fees. No firmware auto-updating at 3 in the morning. I mounted the sensor right at the entrance of the bait jar. Every time an ant crawls through, the infrared beam breaks. The chip sends a signal to my phone via Telegram. No middle server, no bloated app. Just physics and one line of text. Here's the real-world response time test. Commercial trap, 12 seconds. My homemade sensor, under 2 seconds. Do you want to know ants are in your kitchen after 12 seconds or after 2? That difference is whether an ant army gets its marching orders or not. I turned a $3 plastic jar into an IoT device that's faster, cheaper, and more honest than the $50 trap out there. And trust me, I'm no engineer. If I can do it, you can do it. But before you rush off to solder circuits, there's something even more important than sensors and bait. Location. Because a trap, no matter how smart, placed in the wrong spot is just decoration. Chapter 5. Trap placement, the mistake that makes everything useless. I used to think I was smart, placing the trap right in the middle of the kitchen floor, where I could see the ants. I was wrong for 3 years. Ants don't wander around randomly. They move on chemical highways, pheromone trails laid down by scout ants. If you place your trap 5 centimeters off that trail, you're invisible. Ants walk right past, like a car missing a gas station hidden behind a bush. Same jar, same bait. Placed off the trail, total failure. Placed right across the trail, ants line up and walk in. This isn't luck. This is behavioral biology. I set up a time-lapse camera for 48 hours in this very kitchen. I discovered 3 hotspots that almost everyone ignores. The crack behind the fridge, where warmth and food scraps collect. The corner under the sink, where leaking pipes provide moisture. And the dishwasher drain line, a covered pheromone highway. Place your bait stations at these 3 points, and your effectiveness jumps 300% compared to random placement. Technology can't save a stupid location. A $50 trap in the wrong spot is as useless as a $50 bill taped to the wall. But a $3 bait jar in the right spot will collapse an entire empire. But wherever you place your bait, there's one question I always get. Is it safe for my kids, my dog? Part 3, Safety and Common Mistakes. This is Machi, my 30-kilogram dog. I tested placing boric acid bait right next to his water bowl inside a locked box. He sniffed it once and walked away. But don't let that fool you. A 3-kilogram cat only needs 1 curious lick of fipronil gel to start vomiting. A 3-year-old child fascinated by a blinking LED. My neighbor's daughter once opened a trap just because the pretty lights attracted her. Always place bait stations inside child-proof boxes. Always use black tape to cover every blinking LED on any pest control device. And if you're soldering your own circuits like I showed, Seal them inside a moisture-proof plastic case. I once nearly caused a short circuit by leaving an exposed board near a steamer. Natural does not mean harmless. Boric acid exists in nature, but if your child drinks a concentrated solution, the emergency room is still where you'll end up. Respect chemicals like you respect a sharp knife. And remember, my method works for common sugar ants and pavement ants. For fire ants or carpenter ants, you need a different strategy. I have dedicated videos for each species, linked in the description. Part 4. Cost comparison and results. Look at the real numbers. Commercial IoT trap. $50 for the device. $15 for gel refills per year. Total $65. Result after 3 weeks. Ants still present, colony budding. My system. $3 for DIY bait, $4.50 for the sensor if you want it. Total, $7.50. Result, day 21, not a single ant. Are you paying for laziness or for intelligence? I'll let you decide. You don't need a $50 machine to tell you have an ant problem. You need a system that collapses the colony. Right bait, right location. And if you like, a $4.50 homemade sensor. I've prepared a free checklist for you, 5 ant entry hotspots and how to seal them in 1 hour. Download link in the description. Grab it before ant season really explodes. July is always the peak. And if you want the complete defense system that has kept me from calling pest control for 8 years, the Fortress Commander's Handbook has everything. Exclusion sealing diagrams, seasonal bait schedules, and colony collapse protocols for each species. $14.99. One-time payment. Lifetime free updates. Machi tested, 100% safe. Comment below how much have you spent on smart traps that didn't work. I'll read them all and pick the best tech disaster story for my next video. Watch my next video where I test 5 commercial ant baits, which one actually kills the queen. Link on screen right now. Thanks for your time. Remember, you don't need to be smarter than the ants. You just need a better plan. I'm Alex. See you in the next one.